తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వం నిర్వహిస్తున్నటువంటి టీచర్ ఎలిజిబిలిటీ టెస్ట్ టెట్కు కోసం ప్రత్యేకంగా TSAT నిర్వహిస్తున్నటువంటి శిక్షణా తరగతులకు మీ అందరికీ స్వాగతం. ఈ శిక్షణా తరగతుల్లో భాగంగా గణిత శాస్త్రంలో కంటెంట్ విభాగంలో మనం మెజర్మెంట్స్ అంటే కొలతలు అనే అంశాన్ని గురించి చర్చించుకోబోతున్నాం. మీ అందరికీ తెలుసు, కంటెంట్కు 24 మార్కులు, పెడగాజీకి 6 మార్కులు కేటాయింపబడ్డాయి. మెజర్మెంట్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్లో సుమారుగా 3 లేదా 4 ప్రశ్నలు వచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంది. అందుచేత మీరు మ్యాక్సిమం మార్క్స్ సంపాదించుకోవాలనుకుంటే ఈ మెజర్మెంట్ చాప్టర్లో వచ్చినటువంటి అన్ని ప్రశ్నలకు సమాధానం రాయగలగాలి. చాలా సులభమైన కాన్సెప్ట్. మొత్తం జ్యామితీయ పటాలని మనం 2 రకాలుగా వర్గీకరణ చేయొచ్చు. ఒకటి ద్విమితీయ జ్యామితీయ పటాలు, 2 త్రిమితీయ జ్యామితీయ పటాలు. We can classify the total geometrical figures into 2 kinds. One is 2-dimensional geometrical figures, other one is 3-dimensional geometrical figures. The figures which can be represented on a plane is called a 2-dimensional. The figure or the object which is going to be constructed on a space is called a 3-dimensional figure. ఒక అంతరాళంలో నిర్మించబడగలిగినటువంటి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ని త్రిమితీయ జ్యామితీయ పటం అంటారు. ఒక సమతలం మీద గీయగలిగిన పటాన్ని మనం ద్విమితీయ జ్యామితీయ పటం అంటారు. ఈ అంశం చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. 2-dimensional అండ్ 3-dimensional. మనం ఆల్ పాలిగాన్స్, ట్రయాంగిల్, క్వాడ్రిలేటరల్, పెంటగాన్, హెక్సాగాన్, ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఈవెన్ సర్క్యులర్ పాత్స్, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనకు 2-dimensional geometrical figuresగా పరిగణించవచ్చు. కోన్, సిలిండర్, స్పియర్, హెమిస్పియర్, క్యూబ్, క్యూబాయిడ్, పిరమిడ్, వీటన్నిటినీ కూడా మనము 3-dimensional geometrical figuresగా పరిగణించవలసి ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు మనం 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional ఫిగర్స్ వాటి యొక్క మెజర్మెంట్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయో వాటిపైన టెట్లో ఇచ్చినటువంటి వివిధ ప్రశ్నలు ఎలా ఉంటాయి ఇప్పుడు చర్చించుకోబోతున్నాం. మెజర్మెంట్స్, కొలతలు. A polygon, a closed plane figure is said to be a polygon. According to the number of the sides of the polygon, we can name the polygons into various kinds. If n equal to 3, number of sides of the polygon is 3, we call it as a triangle. If n is equal to 4, we call it as a quadrilateral. If n equal to 5, we call it as a pentagon. If n equal to 6, we call it as a hexagon. Like n equal to 7 septagon, n equal to 8 octagon, n equal to 9 nonagon, and n equal to 10 decagon. ఈ రకంగా మనము ఈ పాలిగాన్ని మనం వివిధ రకాల పేర్లతో పిలవచ్చు. వీటిని పిలిచే విధానం దేనిపై ఆధారపడుతుంది? దానిలో ఉన్నటువంటి భుజాల సంఖ్యను బట్టి ఆధారంగా చెప్తుంది. ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ సైడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద పాలిగాన్ గివ్స్ ఇట్స్ అ స్పెసిఫిక్ నేమ్. ఓకే, మనం ఒక పాలిగాన్ తీసుకుందాం, n-sided పాలిగాన్ తీసుకుందాం. ఇఫ్ యూ కన్సిడర్ n-sided పాలిగాన్, the sum of the angles, interior angles, sum of interior angles of the polygon is 2n minus 4 of 90, and sum of exterior angle is 360. వీటిపైన మనకు ఎగ్జామ్లో ఒక క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చే అవకాశం ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీరియర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ పెంటగాన్? దిస్ ఇస్ ద క్వశ్చన్. సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీరియర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ పెంటగాన్. ఫర్ పెంటగాన్ n ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 5. వాట్ ఈస్ ద సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీరియర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ పాలిగాన్? 2n minus 4 of 90, correct? So n is equal to 5. So we can say 2 of 5 minus 4 of 90. Means 2 5s are 10, 10 minus 4 is 6, 6 of 90 is equal to 540. So, the sum of interior angles of a pentagon is 540 degrees. అలాగే మనకు క్రమ పాలిగాన్ అంట, రెగ్యులర్ పాలిగాన్, క్రమ షడ్భుజి అన్నారు అనుకోండి, అంటే షడ్భుజి 6 భుజాలు ఈక్వల్గా ఉన్నాయి. రెగ్యులర్ హెగ్జాగాన్ అన్నారు. వాట్ ఈస్ ఈచ్ ఎక్స్టీరియర్ యాంగిల్ ఆఫ్ ఏ రెగ్యులర్ హెగ్జాగాన్ అని అడిగారు. సో రెగ్యులర్ హెగ్జాగాన్లో ప్రతి బాహ్య కోణము ఎక్స్టీరియర్ యాంగిల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 360/n. ఇంతకుముందు చెప్పాం కదా, 360/n మీన్స్ 360/n అంటే 6 అవుతుంది కాబట్టి 60 degrees ఇలా. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఎక్స్టీరియర్ యాంగిల్ ఆఫ్ ఎ రెగ్యులర్ పాలిగాన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీరియర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద గివెన్ పాలిగాన్? ఈ ప్రశ్నలు మీకు ఎగ్జామినేషన్లో ఇచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి వీటిని చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా చేయండి. ఓకే, సో వన్స్ అగైన్ ఐఎమ్ చెప్తున్నాను, సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీరియర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ పాలిగాన్ ఈస్ 2n - 4 of 90. Sum of exterior angle equal to 360. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is 2n - 4 into 90/n. This each interior angles of a regular polygon, and 360/n is each exterior angle of a regular polygon. Is it clear? Okay. సో మనం ఒక పాలిగాన్స్ పైన ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ మనం తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఒకదాని ఒకటి లైన్గా మనం డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. లెట్స్ డిస్కస్ అబౌట్ అ ట్రయాంగిల్. లెట్స్ టేక్ ఎ ట్రయాంగిల్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద సమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటీరియర్ యాంగిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ ట్రయాంగిల్ హియర్ వెన్ యూ యూజ్ ద సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్? 180, బికాస్ n equal to 3. It is 2n - 4 of 90, correct? This is a formula. So n equal to 3 here means 2 of 6 minus 4 into 90. 2 of 6 2 of 3. 2 3 is 6. 6 minus 4 2. 290 is 180. Clear? Okay. In this way you can find it. So in the examination generally they will based on two measurements. Two measurements mean one is called area, second one is perimeter. ఏరియా అండ్ పెరిమీటర్, తెలుగులో వైశాల్యము చుట్టుకొలత అంటారు. వెన్ యూ కన్సిడర్ ట్రయాంగిల్, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఫైండ్ ద ఏరియా ఫర్ ట్రయాంగిల్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు డ్రా an altitude. That altitude will be considered as height and the base will be considered as a base. So of BH of base into height is a formula for area of a triangle. Okay. So when you say the length of one side of is A, other side is B and one more says C, then perimeter P is equal to A plus B plus C. Sum of all three sides will be given to the perimeter of the triangle. Clear? Okay. So sometimes generally they will give an application based on this concept. One of the exam lo meeku ichinatundi entante, if the area of a triangle is equal to area of a perimeter of the triangle numerically, then what are the possible measures of the triangle, or what are the lengths of the sides of the triangle? Are you understand this question? The area is equal to perimeter. The area is equal to perimeter. Then what are the measurements of the lengths of the sides of the triangle when it is numerically? Can you assume it? When you consider 6, 8 and 10, what is the perimeter here? 6 plus 8 plus 10 is 24, correct? Okay. And area is of 6, 8, 10. If you know it, 6, 8, 10 is a Pythagorean triplet. So 10 is the length of the hypotenuse and 6 and 8 are the lengths of the side, other two sides are lengths of the legs. So base is 8 and height is 6, means of 6 of 8 which is equal to 24. If the measurements of a triangle are 6, 8, 10, its area is equal to perimeter. So, you have to concentrate. This is a very, very important question in the point of examination. Okay. Now, coming to the next. Sometimes they may give a little bit of logic questions, the possibility. That is the area of a triangle, if you consider the smallest side of a right triangle is 7 units. The smallest side of a right triangle is 7 units. Okay. When the small and remaining two sides are integers. Remaining two sides are integers. What is the possible perimeter of the triangle? Like sometimes application questions also will give, we will discuss it later. So, for a triangle you have to find the perimeter and area. There is another formula for area of a triangle, but generally we are using a less number of times, that is we call it as that is Heron's formula. Delta is equal to under root S of S minus A of S minus B of S minus C. So, S is the semi perimeter and S is equal to A plus B plus C by 2. Clear? So, this delta is the area of the triangle, where A, B, C are the lengths of the sides of the triangle. This is called Heron's formula to find the area of a triangle. Okay. Now, coming to a special kind of triangle is equilateral triangle. When you consider equilateral triangle ABC, so here all are equal, here lengths are equal, correct. So, each side is equal to A, then the height will be, the height of the equilateral triangle is root 3 by 2A. So, its area is root 3 by 4 A square. This is one more very important formula to understand or to find the area of a equilateral triangle. The area of a equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 A square. Is it clear? Okay. Now, we are shifting to the next one, is a quadrilateral. So, if you consider a quadrilateral here, when you consider a quadrilateral ABCD, so it has 4 sides of 4 angles. What is the sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees, correct? Okay. So, if you want to find, so for example, if you consider as AC is the diagonal, say it is D, clear, and the heights drawn from the opposite vertex to this diagonal, say this is H1 and this one is H2. Okay. Then the area of this quadrilateral is, the area is equal to here d by 2 of H1 plus H2, d by 2 of H1 plus H2. This is the formula for the area of a quadrilateral. Here d is the length of the diagonal and H1, H2 are the length of the perpendicular lines drawn from its opposite vertices, clear. Okay. Now, shifting to the next one, there are different kinds of quadrilateral. If all sides are equal, all angles are equal, that quadrilateral is said to be, means regular quadrilateral. Regular triangle is an equilateral triangle, regular quadrilateral is a square. So, all sides are equal, all angles are equal. So, each angle is 90 degrees. So, when you consider this as a square, so all sides are equal. So, each one is length is say A. So, its perimeter is 4A and its area is A square units, A square units. Okay. So, this is a very, very important. Sometimes there may be a possible application of questions will come in the examination, that is if the area of a square is represented by a polygon x square plus 4x plus 4, an equation polynomial, the area of a square is represented by a polynomial x square plus 4x plus 4, then what is its perimeter? That is the question. So, what is its perimeter? So, here x square plus 4x plus 4, when you observe it, you can write it as it is x plus 2 whole square. So, each side means each side A equal to x plus 2. So, what is its perimeter? 4 of x plus 2, that is 4x plus 8. Like application question may come in the examination. This is very important. Okay. Now, shifting the next one. If all the angles are 90, but opposite sides are equal, so the side which has the maximum length is called length, other one is considered as a breadth, L and B. So, if you consider a rectangle, so this will be considered as a length and this will be, so we have 2 lengths and 2 breadths, correct. So, its perimeter is 2 of L plus B and its area is LB. Okay. Sometimes in the examination the question may be asked as the area of a rectangle is represented by a polynomial x square plus 3x minus 28. Then what is its perimeter? What is its perimeter? So, here 28 you can write as 7 4s plus 7 and minus 4. So, this one you can resolve into factors as x plus 7 of x minus 4. So, length is x plus 7 and breadth is x minus 4. So, you can write it as this, the perimeter will be is 2 of x plus 7 plus x minus 4, that is 2 of 2x plus 3, or you can say 4x plus 6 units. Like in the examination, the application question may come. The very important thing is every square is a rectangle, but every rectangle need not to be square. When a rectangle becomes a square, if adjacent sides are equal, means if L is equal to B, then the rectangle becomes as a square. This is a very important concept. Okay, now coming to the next one is call it as a parallelogram. When you consider a parallelogram here, so opposite sides are parallel, correct, and say this is a base and this one is a height, then the area will be BH, base into height. Okay. The very important thing is the area of if when you consider a triangle here, okay, when you consider a triangle, the area of a triangle is half of the area of the parallelogram when they lie on the same base between same parallel lines. This is a very important concept, clear. Okay. So, now we will consider one more, this is call it as a trapezium, and you know it, this is a trapezium where one pair of sides are parallel to each other. Okay. So, here the height or the distance between two parallel side is h, say for example, and the parallel sides lengths are a and b, then the area will be h by 2 of a plus b. This is a formula to find the area of a trapezium, clear. Okay. Now, we are shifting to another quadrilateral, call it as rhombus. Okay. A rhombus, if the sides are equal and the diagonals are perpendicularly bisect to each other. Say the length of the diagonal is d1, the length of the diagonal is d2, then the area of the rhombus is half d1 d2 is a formula for the area of a rhombus. Is it clear? So, this is about various quadrilaterals, its area and perimeter. Okay. Now, we are going to shift to the another, that is a circle. A circle is a most important, as you know that circle is, when you say the circle, when you consider the circle, it is the locus of the point, locus of a fixed point which is equidistant from a fixed point. The locus of a point which is equidistant from the fixed point is called a circle. That fixed point is called center, and the distance between the center and on the circumference of the point on the circumference is called the radius. The area of a circle is pi r square. Here pi is 22/7, okay, and the circumference is 2 pi r. Clear? The circumference is 2 pi r, or you can say as pi d also, where d is the length of the diameter, because as you know it, d is equal to 2r, correct? Okay. So, if you consider half of the part, that is semicircle, when you consider the area of the semicircle means simply half pi r square, correct? Okay. Then what is its perimeter? Perimeter is means here simply pi r plus 2r, or 22/7 r plus 2r, or this is you can say 14, 36/7 r. This is a perimeter of the semicircle. This is a very important formula. Okay. Now, when you consider the part of a circle, okay, means which was enclosed by an arc and 2 radii, this part is called sector, and this one is called sector angle, and sector angle say theta. Say if the length of the arc is L and the radius is r, then the area is LR/2. This is a formula, A equal to LR/2. Okay. And if you know the angle, sector angle, when the sector angle is theta, then or say it is x or theta, whatever it may be, you can say. So, area is equal to x degrees by 360 into pi r square. This is the formula for area of a sector. If you want to length of the arc, L is equal to simply x degrees by 360 into 2 pi r. Here the formulas are very important for this, especially measurements. Okay. So, if you know the formula, you can get the answer in a very simple manner. So, that is a very important, clear. Okay. Now, shifting to another means here circular paths. So, generally we know that circular paths here, this is one circle, this one is another circle, as you know it, circle. So, a circular path is there in a park, a circular path. If you want to if you want to find the area of a circular path, so as you know it, say if the radius of this one is small r and the radius is capital R, so the area of the outer circle is pi capital R square and the area of inner circle is pi small r square. You can say pi of big R square minus small r square, or you can say pi of big R plus small r into big R minus small r. This is the formula for area of a circular ring. Area of a circular ring. తెలుగులో దీన్ని కంకణాకార వృత్త వైశాల్యము అంటారు. కంకణాకార వృత్త వైశాల్యం A is equal to pi of big R plus small r and big R minus small r. ఇది వీటికి సంబంధించి. If for example, if this one is in a rectangular path, like when it is in a rectangular path, you want to know this area of this one. How to find the area of this? So, as you know it, this is a very simple, say this is L and this one is B, correct. So, find simply and you can find it. So, here for example, if you say this is x and this is also x means here. So, this becomes as L minus 2x and this becomes as also, and b also will get means here b minus 2x. So, clear, this is the area of the inner rectangle and LB is the area of the outer rectangle. Like you can find the area when you subtract it, you will get the path of the rectangular sheets. Clear? It's like you can calculate in this one. This is very important. Okay, now coming to the, just we are going to shift from a 2-dimensional to a 3-dimensional. So, 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional, this is also very important. So, 3-dimensional, what is a 3-dimensional figure? What is a 3-dimensional figure? A 3-dimensional figure is a geometrical figure which can be constructed in space. It needs 3 axes, x axis, y axis, z axis, means it needs 3 measurements. When you consider as a cube, for example, this is a cube. When you consider as a cube, okay. So, all sides are equal, and this is A and this one is A, this one is A. Simply there are 2 areas, one is called lateral surface area and the second one is total surface area. One is a lateral surface area. So, when you exclude top and bottom, that area will be considered as a lateral surface area. When you include that top and bottom area also, that is called total surface area. So, this area when you consider, this is area is A square, correct. This area is A square, yeah, you know it. This area is A square and this area is A square and this is, and one more, this is A square. So, totally we have 6 A square is the area, total surface area of a cube. When the lateral surface area means you have to exclude the top and bottom areas, means here. So, 2 A squares means here you will get 4 A square. So, this is a very important. The lateral surface area of a cube is 4 A square and the total surface area of a cube is 6 A square. That is a relation between lateral surface area, and from this you can find the volume also. So, volume is simply is a base area into height. This is a very useful formula and which is common for all, భూవైశాల్యము into ఎత్తు. So, here A square and height also A. So, it is A cube. This is very important. If the length of the side of a cube is A, then area will be in centimeters, length in centimeters, area in square centimeters and volume is cubic centimeters. That is a very important. So, here the measurement is very important. Measurement less values is lifeless body. You have to most of the people will do the mistake in measurements only, means units only. So, you have to consider the length will be in centimeters. If it is centimeters, then area will be in square centimeters, centimeter square, and volume will be a cubic centimeters. When you come into the moving to the next one, that is a cuboid. When you consider the cuboid here, okay. If you consider a cuboid, so we have length, breadth and height. We have 3 measurements, correct? We have 3. So, when you have 3 means here simply again what I said means here we have to include and exclude the. So, when you exclude the top and bottom, that will be lateral surface area. When you include that total surface, 2 of LB plus BH plus LH will be the total surface area. So, lateral surface area means 2 of LB plus BH. Okay, that is and now the volume of it is simply volume is LBH. This is a very important formula to find out. Okay. So, this is very important. So, when you shifting to the next one, when you consider this and this is a, you know, that is a cylinder. When you take a rectangular sheet, when you rolled it, so it becomes as a open cylinder, and this top and bottom is in the form of circles, and its area is pi r square, correct? Its area is pi r square simply. Clear? So, it's what is it's a very important thing is it has one it is instead of this one curved surface area and total surface area. This is a very curved surface area and total surface area. Clear? This length becomes as 2 pi r because it is turned into circle, and this length will be considered as here. So, it is 2 pi r h plus pi r square, correct? You can consider as this is sorry 2 pi r is 2 pi r square. So, you have to consider 2 pi r as a common here. So, here r, here h. 2 pi r into r plus h is the lateral surface area, total surface area of a cylinder, okay, and 2 pi r h is a lateral surface area, and the volume is simply, so here you have to multiply with the h, correct, multiply with h. So, simply you have to say pi r square h. So, this is pi r square, if you consider this one pi r square h. Okay. When carving as a cone, the volume of a cone is simply 1/3 pi r square h. Clear? Or so this is a very important concept. For the reason you have to consider this cone, cube, cuboid, cylinder, even a sphere. When you consider a sphere, so when you consider a sphere, so simply its volume is 4/3 pi r cube. 4/3 pi r cube is the volume of. Okay, if when you consider as a hemisphere half of the part, when you consider the hemisphere, this volume is 2/3 pi r cube. Clear? So, this in this way, so you have to consider all the formulas of the measurements of 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. So, once you know the formula, then you can get the answer as a very easily. So, prepare the 2-dimensional figure, do not get confusion. So, if you consider rectangle is a 2-dimensional, cuboid is a 3-dimensional, square is a 2-dimensional, when you consider the cube is a 3-dimensional, am I correct? So, like a very simple circle is a 2-dimensional and sphere is a 3-dimensional. So, when you get this kind of difference, when you understand this kind of difference, this chapter is very easy. So, I hope everyone will get very good marks in this chapter measurements. Namaste.